I'm Bridget Phetasy, and this is your dumpster fire for the week of November 15th to November 21st. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do.
And the unicorns dance while the world burns, world burns.
Is the election legitimate or not? What about Agenda 2030? Have you heard about Build Back Better? Are you terrified yet? Because we are. Robots are dominating, Sia is getting angry online, and so much more this week on Dumpster Fire. Dun, 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 dun. Welcome to Dumpster Fire, where we have been slowly going insane for over a year, publicly for your entertainment. But I keep hearing persistently from all of you that everyone feels crazy, and I'm here to tell you, you're not alone. Everyone feels crazy with the persistent, weird half lockdowns and then more lockdowns, and COVID is on the rise and hospitals are indeed filling up, and you are feeling isolated and alone, and particularly if you live alone. I know we are here for you. Do not lose hope. This might feel like it's going to be forever. It is not going to be forever. I know how things feel like they're forever when you're in them, and just as my friend Jacob, who survived the Holocaust, always reminds me, this too shall pass, and you have to stay hopeful. We have to stay hopeful.
Yep, it's true.
We just have to. That's the thing I cannot lose. I can't lose hope, not just because she's my dog, but because I cannot lose the idea that I think this is what's happening with so many people is they're alone. They feel crazy. They're spending too much time online, which is crazy. And then they're starting to feel hopeless. And I know that COVID is serious. I'm not a COVID truther. I believe it's real. Anyone who's been watching this show knows that. I do think you can say that this is a problem and we need to address it, as well as the lockdowns are having serious effects on people. Depression's increasing, addiction's increasing, overdoses are going up, loneliness kills. Old people don't have people visiting them, and so we have to be compassionate to that and to each other, and really try and respect that. I try to hold space for everybody in all of the craziness because I don't honestly really fucking know what to believe. It's like a war of reality. And because all of our institutions have shredded their credibility, we don't know who or what to believe. And in the absence of any kind of truth or knowing what is truth, you will turn to conspiracy often because it fills in the blanks and you need to make a story and you want your world to make sense. And it's easier to just go down these rabbit holes than to maybe do the work or look at what the facts are presenting you, because you can't even trust the people who are presenting facts. So listen, when it comes to all this election stuff and it comes to all the stuff that's coming out about everything, I understand the desire to want to believe whatever you want to believe. I am in the place of hearing things from all sides, being that I'm at this weird crossroads in the center. I understand the frustration with the left-wing media, and particularly acting very righteous about, well, how dare you shred democracy the way that these people are doing by questioning the results of the election. Oh, like, fuck off. I understand that, but that doesn't mean that you get to do that either. I get it. All I go by is the facts. So the things that the administration might be saying about this election are not necessarily the things they're saying when they go to court. I have to have faith in our institutions. I never had lost faith in our institutions when Trump was elected. I haven't lost faith in them now. Do I think that there is a perfectly no shenanigans election? No, I think mail-in voting leaves some room for error and shenanigans. But do I think it's enough to overturn an election based on what we're seeing? No. Do I think that there is every right to investigate these things? Absolutely. Do I think that the left gets to be and the media gets to be all righteous about acting like they didn't sell all kinds of conspiracy theories for 4 years and never retract anything, never apologize, never take anything back, and act like we're supposed to believe them. This is a media that shredded their credibility for 4 years. And this is what happens when you do that. People don't believe you anymore. So I understand. I look at the judicial system. This is where I land. I look at what they're actually presenting in court, and I actually have faith in our institutions there. I have faith in our election system. I have to, because if you don't, democracy is already dead. And if democracy is already dead, it excuses you doing all kinds of things to thwart democracy. So you can't subvert democracy to preserve democracy. It makes no sense. That being said, I don't fucking know anything. We filmed this on Saturday. There could be a whole shitstorm by Monday. Yep. I just want to address that a lot of people are feeling crazy and insane, and you're getting a lot of people are feeling crazy and insane. You're getting all kinds of information, and it's okay if you feel insane, and it's okay to just say, I don't fucking know. How are you guys doing? Where do you land? Sam? We also have like a wild
I've fallen down the rabbit hole of Agenda 2030. Look it up.
Sam is gone, guys.
Event 201, Agenda 21, Agenda 2030.
We've lost Sam. It's much easier to believe something than to live in confusion.
Yeah.
Humans don't like confusion. We do not like feeling unstable. We don't like not knowing what reality is. And it is much easier to, this is why Trump broke everyone's brains. He's broken everyone's brains on the left, and now on his way out, he's going to break everyone on the right's brains, with a few people maybe left. But it's easier to just get on board with believing anything than to sit with the uncomfortable feeling that I'm sitting with of, I don't know. It's uncomfortable. I mean, what is it right now? 33 of the lawsuits have basically fallen apart, and 2 were accepted in terms of the election.
Yeah, they won 2 of them.
And they were like, oh, you need to stand 6 feet closer or something.
Right.
It
wasn't like, we've uncovered fraud. Yeah. Fraud was never proven.
It was like, let them stand 6 feet instead of 20. But I am in the same place of, I see Build Back Better everywhere, all over the globe.
Okay, you need to explain this, because a lot of people have no idea what this is.
Build Back Better came from the rich people meeting at Davos, basically saying we needed like a reset.
A new world order.
And we've always joked about Davos. I mean, if there is an Illuminati, they meet at Davos every year. Biden's slogan was Build Back Better, which I always thought was a horrible slogan. But then I start seeing it all over the world.
To build back better.
We have to build back better.
Trudeau is using it.
Building back better while maintaining our momentum on reaching the 2030 agenda. This pandemic has provided an opportunity for a reset.
Now it's like the slogan for this new world order, I guess.
It is.
It's crazy.
Yeah, it is like.
So the whole idea of Agenda 2030, because that then comes from the UN, where they have these sustainable global goals. And if they meet these sustainable global goals, you have a one world government, a one world banking system. Instead of the US being in power, every nation's equal and in power, and there's one governing class. And then they were wanting to hit that by 2021, but then in 2015, they said, no, that's going to be more likely 2030.
But it was also contingent on 90% of the population being wiped out.
Correct.
And now that's
which would
part
then
of the
make
conspiracy.
It like 500 billion or whatever million, some odd number, I don't know.
90% of the population would be like
and
6
how
billion people.
That would happen is through a pandemic, which then in October of 2019.
Yes, Sam, I'm listening.
Event 201.
Event 201 happened in October of 2019 before the coronavirus. And it was sponsored by the WEF, which is owned by the UN, and the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. which was to expose what would happen if there was a global pandemic and how the private and public sectors need to come together to then control and put everybody in order.
But there is the biggest part of the conspiracy theory is that then basically the UN is working to wipe out 90% of the population
Correct.
in order for their predictions to come through, because that will make the population much more easy to control.
Exactly.
Etc.
Why aren't we having Sam demonstrate this with strings and poster
charts?
boards behind us?
I would like to see some charts and graphs.
I will happily do a dumpster fire with Sammy Flaps and Folds on conspiracy.
It is interesting, too, that this pandemic has pushed more people back down into poverty. It hurts the most vulnerable, and it has been. And the thing that drives me insane about these lockdowns is that it has decimated the middle class and decimated small businesses and transferred more wealth up to the rich than any time in ages, because now we have like 5 corporations that are making all the money and all the small, like, how come you can't go to your local business and you can go to Amazon?
Mm-hmm.
It's bullshit.
And
Agenda
we had already
2030.
had it.
Agenda 20. I'm on board.
We're in.
2030. I just
convinced
want
us.
to say. Because Agenda 2030, going back on why people are suffering,
Yes, Sam.
because Julian Huxley, Aldous Huxley's brother, who was the head of, Brave New World writer, his brother was the head of one of the UN divisions.
Mm-hmm.
Eugenics, the whole thing, because it goes all the way back to Plato.
Oh my
Jesus.
God.
The
Okay,
research
we're not
that I've
going back
done.
to Plato. We've got a
But then with
show to
eugenics,
shoot.
it was all in order.
Many hours later.
Julian Huxley was like, well, there are a lot of poor people who aren't going to advance to higher education, and there are a lot of weak people, and the best way to get rid of them to then advance to the rest of humankind to live under this world that we want to create.
Many unbearable hours later.
From 1945 to 2019, COVID-19.
Well, so I was saying that the proof is in the pudding if in February of 2021 a new strain of COVID comes out called COVID-21, then I'm on board for Agenda 2030. Because
It is fucking creepy how easily we've all just skipped into authoritarianism.
Yeah.
I mean, Jesus Christ, everyone's just like, tra la 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 la. Sure,
And
you can tell us what
now-
to do and lock us down and come into our homes and tell us how to talk and tell us what to say and what we can't say
and monitor our thoughts.
and monitor our thoughts and our
And the
speech.
UN now has a biometric digital wallet for all of its employees that was announced earlier this week.
Dun, dun, dun.
Agenda 2030.
The United Nations is ready to digitally transform how it deals with identity by providing its personnel with a universal, system-wide identity solution. Introducing the UN Digital ID. All of your personal, HR, medical, travel, security, payroll, and pension data in the palm of your hand. UN Digital IDs, a building block for digital cooperation, unlocking the promise of the SDGs.
Agenda 2030.
They're testing it out on them first before they make it mandatory for everybody else.
Sammy
Agenda
FnF
2030
went deep down the rabbit hole. I don't think
Look it
she's
up.
ever
We've
coming
lost
back.
her now.
Close my third eye. Close my third eye. I've seen the truth and I don't like it.
So anyway, back to talking about everyone losing their mind.
Buy all the guns and ammo you can.
We get it. We get it.
We understand how easy it is to just slip right over that edge. All right, troll in chief. Rudy Giuliani sweats through his hair dye.
Wisconsin, Nevada, and Arizona. We more than double.
How can we take these people seriously? I'm supposed to expect that this guy is responsible for a coup on our government? This is the guy you're presenting. You're like, I don't know. I have some serious doubts about this election. I need someone credible who doesn't at all seem like a slimy scumbag who worked for the mafia to come out and reassure me that these accusations, which are very serious and have to do with like Venezuela, I mean, this shit is crazy town. And he comes out and he's like babbling on, talking about my cousin Vinny.
Did you all watch My Cousin Vinny? The nice lady who said she saw. And then he says to her, how many fingers do I got up? And she says, 3. Well, she was too far away.
Which then, of course, became like number 3 movie watched last week. And starts sweating his hair dye down his fucking face.
And people were like, what the fuck kind of hair dye is this that you can sweat off? It's like that hair in a can.
Yeah,
stuff.
totally. That hair
Guy gets
color
paid
in a
like
can.
what, $20,000 a minute and like can't afford a good hair dye job? This is ridiculous.
You should go see Nancy Pelosi's lady.
Oh!
Our betters don't give a shit about us, by the way.
Parade of morons. Viral video shows anti-masker in Costco being handcuffed by police after tirade. The masks don't work.
Sam, who bailed you out?
I tried calling you.
I didn't get
but-
Oh, that was the other. I did have a bunch of unrestricted numbers calling me the other day.
Yeah, thanks for answering.
Answer those calls.
Because they don't wear their mask. They don't wear their mask. Oh, really? Is that what it is? Because one person won't wear a mask. Goodbye. That's why the virus is still going on after a year. You're a dumbass. She's arrested.
We should just make a mask that says Agenda 2030 on it.
Shop
be
our
limited
merch at
edition.
BridgetPhetasy.com.
California. So more came out about Newsom's infamous dinner.
Yes.
He was eating with members of the State Medical Association. It originally was claimed they were outside. They weren't not outside.
No, they were in like a garage and they ended up closing the doors because they were being so loud.
Then he apologized for attending the dinner and said, "We're all human. We all fall short sometimes." That was his apology.
It was to be an outdoor restaurant. We're all human. We all fall short sometimes.
But he was like smiling when he made his apology
He's such
video
a douchey
too.
sleazebag. I can't stand that guy. And then locks us down.
Yeah.
We have a curfew starting tonight, 10 p.m. to 5 a.m. because everyone knows the virus only goes out after 10 p.m.
It's like they're vampires.
Yes.
It just feels arbitrary.
It is arbitrary because it's all about politics.
There's no logic behind it.
Yeah. it
Oh,
fucking
there's
pisses me
logic
off.
behind it.
Oh, geez.
Tell us, Sam. what is-
Agenda 2030.
Is that logic, though? And this is the kind of shit when people do this, like Gavin Newsome gets together with his cronies and they all have dinner and they laugh because this is the thing. I would like for everyone to realize that all these fucking people are on the same team. Doesn't matter whether they're the Republican legislators in Michigan drinking Dom or Gavin Newsome or Andrew Cuomo on his fucking book tour. They're all on the same team. They're all elite. They don't think the rules apply to them. They look down on all of us as little fucking obedient plebes, and we should rise up and overthrow them all.
Yeah.
Well, the good thing for us, in case we need to shoot late tonight, is entertainment workers are exempt from this arbitrary
that's
lockdown.
right. Entertainment workers are exempt like us here at this very serious operation.
You're welcome.
And then we had lawmakers travel to Maui with lobbyists.
Yeah, also. I haven't seen my new nephew. I haven't even met my sister's baby daddy. I haven't been home in over a year and a half. And these fuckers are going to Maui for a boondoggle. Well, we're all sitting at home, can't even leave our house after 10 p.m. I fucking hate everybody. This is the kind of shit that shreds credibility, and you wonder why people don't trust science or institutions. This is why, idiots. We shouldn't trust you because you don't even follow your own fucking... You should have to abide by everything that you're making us do.
Right.
And they also shouldn't be getting paid while no one else can work. Our leaders should have to apply this shit to themselves.
Capitalism always wins.
Now I'm angry.
Well, let's buy something for Bridget for Thanksgiving. Someone is selling window clings of Andrew Cuomo and Gavin Newsome, so it looks like they're spying on your Thanksgiving dinner. This is brilliant.
It is brilliant. I need one. Will someone buy me one of these so we can put it in behind? We need one of each for behind the dumpster fire. Yeah. They're just always here watching us. Oh, God. And that's the other thing. They're like, oh, you can't gather with more than 6 people for Thanksgiving. And while he's with 15 people, freaking California Medical Association and Cuomo out here.
Yeah.
I mean, Cuomo broke me this week. We'll get to that. That mother.
Then we have recycled garbage. Our boycott worked. Target reverses stance on transgender book.
It was all us, guys. Good for you, internet. Yes, Abigail Schreier's book is back on the shelves in Target because there was such an outcry. They put it back. And then also in updates, Christiane Amanpour apologized for comparing Trump's 4 years to Hitler.
I shouldn't have juxtaposed the two thoughts. Hitler and his evil stand alone, of course, in history. I regret any pain my statement may have caused.
Didn't really get very much attention by the press, but we thought we here would let you know that she did in fact apologize and realize that it was an insensitive, insane thing to say.
Proving that both Christiane Amanpour and Target bigwigs watch Dumpster Fire.
Yes, we take that as evidence that Target bigwigs and Christiane Amanpour watch Dumpster Fire religiously.
Thank
We're
you.
glad that you tune in to our little show.
Agenda 2030.
I've got Maggie on board.
I would like to take this moment to remind you that you should touch my bells and buttons and also go buy some sheath underwear. You should like, subscribe, comment, and also check out BridgetPhetasy.com for mugs, collector's items, cards, and all of the things that will make this operation keep going. So touch my bells and buttons and get on board and join the dumpster fire train because this party is only starting.
And then in the BDE Award,
we are giving the BDE Award this week to all of the sheriffs telling the overreaching governors like Newsome and Cuomo to get fucked and eat a dick. That's not the exact thing that they said. It was more polite. But they did basically say, eat a dick. We're not enforcing your insane authoritarian laws. So, yes, there were sheriffs in OC, sheriffs in New York. They all said that they were too busy actually doing real sheriffing to enforce the mask wearing and distancing and not allowing people to gather. So
the curfew too, right?
And the curfew. So good for you guys. At least sheriffs are pushing back against this insanity. It's funny because I land like weirdly in the middle and feel torn about it. On the one hand, their rates are going up, people are dying, and hospitals are getting full. This isn't good. We should be responsible enough adults to try and get this shit together. And on the other hand, I hate the authoritarian laws that seem more about politics and less about actual science and helping individuals.
Mm-hmm. And then in Canceled.
Oh, God. Canceled! What if I just wear my hair like this for this entire segment in honor of Sia?
Please do it.
Sia got called out for casting Maddie Ziegler, who is not autistic, to play an autistic person in her upcoming movie.
My gosh.
Music? We're about to have a pool party.
Here's what's frustrating about this other than everything. I understand that people want to be cast in roles. I just hate all these fucking people who want to tear everything down. The same people who are yelling about everybody watching Cuties before they judged it are yelling about this trailer and crying about her movie before they've even watched it. So at least be somewhat consistent, like with your screaming, but there's no consistency. And so the neuroatypical and the autistic crowd was very mad that she didn't cast an actual autistic person for this role. Although, according to Sia, she tried, but the person was so overwhelmed by all the set that it didn't work.
She cast 13 neuroatypical people and 3 transgender people, and
then she got dragged for that because she said she cast them in roles as doctors and nurses and not as drug addicts and prostitutes. And then people were like, oh, way to stigmatize drug addicts and prostitutes. I had no idea there were so many autistic sex workers because they were fucking outraged, like more than one.
And then the best part, because I have so much respect for Sia, is someone tweeted, several autistic actors, myself included, responded to these tweets. We all said we could have acted in it on short notice. These excuses are just that, excuses. The fact of the matter is 0 effort was made to include anyone who is actually autistic.
And Sia was like, maybe you're just a bad actor. I was like, welcome to the intellectual dark web, Sia.
I just have a lot of respect for her not caving to the mob.
she was going hard against everybody. I mean, I don't even think you should engage because you cannot win. There is no apology that will be great enough. You will keep bending the knee until you bend. What? And it doesn't make sense to me. So do you want only autistic people only in autistic roles? But does that mean that autistic people and neurotypical people can't play in roles that are just normal roles?
No, because
they would only play autistic.
They would be applauded if they cast an autistic person for just like a neurotypical role and didn't bring the autism into it at all. It would be lauded from here to eternity.
Right. So it doesn't go both ways. It only goes in one direction. Yeah. And that, again, it's like, just be fucking consistent with your message, but you can't. There's no consistency. It's hard because I read it and I'm like, yeah, I'm compassionate to a lot of the way that the represent. I feel like we've made so much progress, and here Sia's trying to make a cool thing, and it's like I saw so many parents who were in the comments saying, I have an autistic kid and they love like XYZ, and don't judge this before you've seen it. And it's good to even just have this kind of representation, but it is never enough. It's just never enough.
No.
And it's a lot of people who are trying to crap on someone who made something, which is my biggest gripe. Go make something. Use this energy that you have clearly a lot of to go create something instead of trying to destroy something that somebody else made. Someone who has been an ally for your community and is clearly like all of the woke points you could possibly want and is progressive. Like, it's craziness.
It's never enough. Anyone trying to do anything good, anything kind, anyone with some sort of positive message is going to get dragged for something.
It's never enough. And it's people who are, it's unsettling because it does feel like that Inquisition vibe where there's like this sin. That's what bothers me too, is that everyone just assumes the most bad faith interpretation of what anyone's trying to do. It's like Sia made this cool thing and they all just jump on her. Sorry that Sia didn't fucking consult with the tribunal of autistics on Twitter before she made her movie.
Well, then Anne Hathaway apologizes to the disabled community for playing a person with 3 fingers.
Only murderers are allowed to play murderers. That's it. That is it.
Only drug addicts are allowed to play drug addicts.
I'm sorry. This is a rapist that you're auditioning for. We need to know if you've ever raped anyone. And if you haven't, forget it. It's like this weird combination of everything being so petty and stupid and everything being like, wow, we might be on the verge of like global domination by China.
Sam.
Agenda 2030.
Actually, it's the UN in all of the countries.
Yeah, but the UN is technically in the pocket of China.
Technically run by China.
Yeah.
God, Sam, didn't you know that?
Catch up, Sam.
2030.
Agenda 2030.
I'm still down in the rabbit hole, you guys. I haven't dug that deep yet.
Well, you're going to have to dig all the way to China.
Gonna have a shovel on the
Sam
set
dad
next
joke
week.
moment right there.
Proud of you, Bridget.
Thank you. It was a softball that I felt you lobbed to me.
All right. And then we have Make Orwell Fiction again. To Kill a Mockingbird, Of Mice and Men, Roll of Thunder, Hear My Cry, The Adventures of Huckleberry Finn, banned by the Burbank Unified School District.
Shaking my damn head. It's ridiculous. We live in the dumbest times.
Yeah, we're back to banning books.
Yeah. And this is progress.
Yeah.
Because the parents said the books were racist.
Why don't you use these books to have a conversation? Why don't we use the books to educate our children? And if they can't handle something in the books, then we talk to the kid about resilience or grit or understanding that the books were written at a certain time and that time has changed and that there's been progress. Why don't we use books the way we're supposed to use them?
And not to whitewash our past and pretend it never happened?
No, just get rid of it. Ban it. I'm not for banning books. Just, call me crazy, but that just never a good sign when books are getting banned. And again, this is something that used to be like the right wing. Mm-hmm. Like they used to ban Harry Potter because of the witchcraft or whatever.
And the left wing was always against it.
Yeah. It's so weird to watch the left wing, like the free speech stuff and the banning books all coming from the left. I'm like, what the happened to you guys? Yep. What have you become, huh? I thought I knew you. I thought that you and I were like together forever, and now you've just turned on me and become this person that I don't even know anymore.
Agenda 2030.
All right, proof we're living in a simulation. Sophia the robot introduces her sister Asha, who is becoming a nurse and learning Hindi.
Namaste.
Great.
Your tweet was brilliant and disturbing.
Because that is the single most hardcore, cold moment in any movie that I've ever seen. And I don't want to spoil it for people who haven't seen Ex Machina, but that's the future for us humans. Is we're like, look at these adorable robots. They're all so loving, and they're waiting on us, and they're feeding us when we're old. And then we're like, help us. Let me out of here. As they lock us up. Agenda 2030. What does Agenda 2030 say about AI, huh?
That we're going to have drones delivering things. We won't own anything, but we'll rent things, and they'll be delivered by drones.
This seems like so
the drones
20.
that are
this
spying
seems
on
like
us?
so 2025. I mean, I feel like
actually, it's 2030. It's Agenda 2030.
I get it, but it feels like that
When
will be
AOC
happening by
said
2025.
The world is going to end in 12 years in 2018. She means Agenda 2030.
And then we have a new Japanese invention aimed at single men, simulates holding a woman's hand.
This is sad.
This is really sad.
This is the saddest story, but can you use it for HJs?
Probably.
There you go.
Simulated HJs.
A happy ending to the sad story. Ayo.
That's a good one, Maggie.
Dad jokes all over the place today.
Papa Sam is proud today.
Papa Sam should be proud. You've got us all convinced that there's a deep state coup happening and making dad jokes. Sam has taken this over just like Agenda 2030.
It's my plan.
Agenda 2030 creeps just like Sam's dad.
It's so sad, though. And you know why? It's because they stopped having sex in Japan, pretty much, and their population is, like, collapsing.
Oh,
Agenda
population's going
2030.
down. You know what else is part of Agenda 2030? No more family units.
That sounds like Marxism.
Yeah. It's what Agenda 2030 is.
Oh, Jesus. So it's Agenda 2030 is just a catch-all for every conspiracy, basically.
Pretty
it's
much.
like, throw in the anti-vaxxers, throw in the deep state coup, throw in the Marxism, throw in Alex Jones, and you've
It's
got...
your cornucopia.
Where do the pedophiles fit in?
Yeah, where does Pedowood fit in?
QAnon fit in?
I'm sure QAnon's in there, too.
Is QAnon pro Agenda 2030?
No,
or
they're against Agenda 2030.
Because they believe it's the cabal of pedophiles taking over?
Yeah, it's a big world cabal.
All right, in what is happening? An asteroid the size of a London bus missed the Earth by just 240 miles on Friday the 13th in the closest pass on record.
The funny thing is that this wasn't spotted until the next day. This does not exactly instill my confidence that we're going to be able to see any of this shit coming when it's headed right for us. But it's also very 2020 that this missed us, because I feel like it would have been, everybody kind of wants the asteroid to hit. They didn't get what they wanted.
Speak for yourself.
Where do asteroids come into Agenda 2020's 2030, Sam?
They're pretty happy it didn't come.
I am on record as saying I do not want the asteroid.
Everyone's in a fucking doomsday cult.
But wouldn't the asteroid wipe out some of the population that needs to be wiped out?
Yeah, but maybe it'll wipe out the cabal leaders.
No.
They'll be safe in their bunkers.
And their underground ticket bunker.
Mm-hmm. Where's our ticket to the bunker? Give me that hand to give a rich guy HJs, and maybe I'll find the way.
In Minnesota, you now face 90 days in jail or a $1,000 fine if you socialize, speak, or hang out with someone who does not live in your home, whether inside your home or anywhere else, including outdoors. If you threaten to do so in any way, you face a $25,000 fine.
Damn. I would have got a $25,000 fine for my LOL nope on Gavin Newsome's new curfew orders if I was in Minnesota.
Yeah, this is fucked up. There's no way this is legal.
We're just frogs skipping into authoritarianism. We're just frogs boiling in the water. We're just frogs watching our Netflix and wondering why we're locked up forever. Agenda 2030. Agenda 2030. Agenda 2030. I really do want to write a musical.
In dumpster diving.
We had more videos of children watching the dumpster this week. I can't post them, but why are your children watching this show? I'm somewhat concerned about that.
Have your children read Agenda 2030.
What's next in the dumpster? I can see why it's the kids' favorite part.
Uh-huh.
It makes me feel like a child every time I do it.
A gang of killer whales repeatedly ram a boat in a terrifying ordeal lasting 2 hours.
They may just be playing with us, but for sure they're going to damage the boat.
The whales have been activated in the Agenda 2030 plot.
Yes.
Dun, dun, dun! Because this is like happening all the time.
Right.
There have been 40 incidents of this, and they don't know why the whales are doing it. They think it's just a teenage whale thing. You know, the whales are like, let's go out and knock some boats around.
Just like being bullies.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's 40 similar mysterious encounters between orcas and boats that have been reported off the coast of Portugal and Spain in the past 6 months.
I just imagine these teenage whales being like, let's go knock some boats around, huh? I love these punk whales. They're in my heart.
The 2020 Rockefeller Christmas tree was right on brand.
Yeah, a sad, giant Snoopy tree. You could almost hear that music as the sad eaves dropped scraggly when they were trying to lift it. It was just the saddest looking tree. And now the tree is tweeting?
Yeah, the tree tweeted. They're like, how would you look after a 2-day drive?
And they found an owl in it. There was an owl.
Oh, God.
Yeah. It had a scarf the last time I saw it. It's a children's book.
These are all just signs of the apocalypse.
It's literally a children's book that we need to write about this owl and this scraggly tree that no one ever loved. And then they finally picked it to bring it and they found the owl and now he's got a nice scarf.
George Clooney gives his 14 closest friends $1 million each.
Yo-Yo Ha on Twitter had the best tweet that was imagine being George Clooney's 15th best friend.
That sucks.
I know. Again, though, this story is amazing because immediately when you see the article online, it's everybody underneath going, you could have spent that money giving it to teachers. You could have paid $140. I'm like, oh my God. Can nobody do anything? It's his money. He can do whatever he wants. He made his $1 billion when he sold a house of Mexicans. George Clooney made his money when he sold a house of Mexicans for $1 billion.
I think that's incorrect, Bridget.
His tequila is Casamigos.
He sold 14 of his best Mexican friends for $1 billion. No.
And a new conspiracy is born.
And then he had to pay 14 people $1 million to stay quiet. That's what this was really all about. And the story's crazy. He went and got it in cash. He got a florist van that he drove downtown LA where you can get millions of dollars in cash. They had to put the van in an elevator and load it up. He invited them over to his house and he showed them all the beautiful places he had gone all over the world, which seems a little cruel. And then he said, and how can I possibly thank anyone who's helped me achieve this? And then gave them a Toomey bag with $1 million in it.
Wow.
It really sounds like an Ocean's 11 movie that he wanted to like live in real life.
Yeah, he just wanted that moment of like getting
the
a
sketchy
van full
Flores
of $14 million. Dolly Parton donated $1 million to fund Moderna's vaccine research.
This is
Sam's story.
I'd let Dolly Parton microchip me.
Sam's like, I won't accept any vaccines from that kook Bill Gates, but Dolly Parton can microchip me any day of the week. Would Dolly Parton's microchips make you a better singer?
I hope so.
And your boobs just like, boop.
They get even bigger.
Yeah. Good for Dolly Parton. But I don't think she meant to give it to this research. If you dig down,
I think she donated it, and the money ended up going towards the research. At the same time that the announcement went out was also the same time she found out that her money funded that research.
Mm-hmm.
In other news, Dolly Parton has donated $1 million to microchip the babies.
Agenda 2030. Biometric digital ID wallet.
Dolly Parton and Bill Gates are secretly
rumors.
married.
All kinds of just falsehoods. So that people don't cite us as a news source. My God, people.
What is wrong with you?
Do not come to us for your news.
Come to us for your news.
Sam.
I will give it to you.
She'll give you all the news of Agenda 2030.
All of it.
All right. In breaking, Bridget. And the Emmy goes to Andrew Cuomo.
I mean, you motherfucker. Are you kidding me? This broke me. He's getting an Emmy for his pandemic broadcasts that he did.
What the actual fuck?
His masterful use of TV to inform and calm people around the world.
Who the fuck owes this guy?
This makes me believe in QAnon.
Yeah, this makes me... I believe in Agenda 2030 now.
You're welcome.
What the hell? I mean, Gavin Newsome's going to win a Nobel Prize at this rate. How are you giving this man an Emmy? He killed thousands of old people. And is his brother going to get like a best supporting actor for coming up out of the basement triumphantly after his beating of COVID, after he was seen assaulting a neighbor in his rich second home on frickin' Long Island?
Ugh.
These guys are ridiculous.
Ugh.
How is he getting an Emmy for? It's beyond parody.
Yeah.
We live in clown world. This is a clown show.
She's about to cry. She's about to burst.
Where's our Emmy, huh? We've been out here breaking hard-hitting news.
Where are accolades?
Keeping the people sane.
Or insane.
Whichever they choose. Because we're all for free choice here. She's ready to box. She's ready to fight. The 90s vibe is strong with this one.
Put her in, coach. Bridget V 2030.
Let's get ready.
Phetasy.
Cuomo, you motherfucker.
An
Emmy.
The internet is glorious.
Some funny clips to cleanse your palate of this absolute show.
Yes, I just entered my credit card information, so there should be no issue. Yeah, I'm actually very excited to bleep all over your blank, and I'm sorry for the profanity.
She was living la vida loca. She had them for the truck.
Don't ever use the word smart with me. Don't ever use that word. Oh, give me a break. Because you know what?
Phetasy News.
Please check out Walk-Ins Welcome if you haven't. At least give a couple of our episodes a try. Subscribe wherever podcasts are available. Lots of interesting conversations with people from all across the spectrum. This week is Desiree. She's a political commentator, crypto enthusiast, and an artist. Just a kind of amazing woman of talent of all kinds. And she's from Jamaica and just is a really fascinating thinker. So check that out. You don't even have to leave our channel. You can listen to them on YouTube. We release them right here, which you should like, subscribe, touch my bells and buttons. A lot of you need to tell your friends about us because you want to be the person that told your friend about us before they hear about us from someone else. I was a teen in the Babylon Bee, a disgruntled teen. It really is one of my favorite roles other than the drunk newscaster. Check that out. Can I please go to a concert with Stephanie tonight?
Sounds fun. What's the band?
It's a band called Satan.
Wait.
I returned as Nicole in Rideshare, the series, which is also here on YouTube and a podcast. Check that out. I'm just a crazy passenger which is what we all are. Go to BridgetPhetasy.com for merch. We have t-shirts, hoodies, we've got stickers and mugs, socks, hats, all kinds of stuff for Christmas, limited edition greeting cards. And right now we're offering a Black Friday sale, 15% off all of our merch over $50, and it goes until December 10th. So check that out. Use the code Phetasy15.
That is Bridget on the card with her hand up a turkey's ass.
Yes, it is. It says, holidays are a pain in the ass. Dun, 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 dun.
Circa 2005.
2005, folks. There's only 200 of those available, so get them while you can, because someday they will be worth money. We are off next week, so everyone have a safe Thanksgiving. We are so grateful for you, for your viewership, for your comments, for your love. We love you right back. We are grateful for these past 9 weeks we've gone with you through the election, and we need a break. I'm sure you need a break. Take this weekend to just be grateful for what we have, which is a lot, and try not to drive yourself too crazy online. Get some exercise. Thank you to Better Phetasy for your research. We cannot do this without you. Follow Better Phetasy on Twitter.com. Also, thank you, ZenPro Audio, for the juicy mic, which I abuse every week. Go to ZenPro Audio for all of your sound needs. They're fantastic. Thank you, Sammy Flaps and Folds, for your conspiracy theories and for really bringing up that wing of our team that needs to be more informed by InfoWars.
Oh, you are so welcome.
You can follow Sam everywhere online at Instagram, Twitter, and she's on Phetasy.com. Thank you, Cousin Maggie. You can follow her at Phetasy. That's the only place you'll find her because she is the smartest and hates social media. This has been your dumpster fire for the week of November 15th to November 21st. I'm Bridget Phetasy. Now make me rich. Dun, 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 dun.